Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living, or Tuesday evening spiritual mind healing service. I'm practitioner Sandra Cooper, and it is my absolute joy to welcome each and every one of you here this evening to our awesome time together, 1 hour in this beautiful and sacred space. And so we're going to begin with a short meditation. I'm going to ask you to just close your eyes for a moment. Let me just get my music up. This one close. Just close your eyes. And exhale. Another deep breath in. And exhale. As you breathe in and out, just become aware of your legs planted firmly on the ground. You're back up against the chair on which you're sitting. Just do a quick scan from the top of your head, right down your spine, down your chest, through your legs, down to your feet. How good it is to be able to feel our bodies. I want you to just now imagine that there is a circle of light that starts as a pinpoint at the very center of your heart. And that circle of light expands It expands and it radiates out from your center to your circumference. And with every breath that you take, just become aware of this circle of light getting bigger and brighter. And just know that this circle of light is energy and the infiniteness of God, and it's surging through every single cell and fiber of your being. And just feel your body, your beautiful body, being surrounded by this light, immersed in this light, bathed in the light. And that light is just overflowing with love for you. And so as you experience the fullness of this love, just allow it to cradle you in its arms. Say, and listen to it say, yes, this is my beloved, with whom I am well pleased. And so just for a few moments, just settle into this experience of life. And just breathe in slowly and exhale. just continue with the rhythm of your breathing. And just relax into it. Just for a few moments. You become aware once again of your breathing. Become present. The inhale and the exhale. Rising and the falling of your chest. Just wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Another deep breath in and exhale. Okay, welcome. Welcome, Dawn and Stevie and Auntie Lil and Shawnake, welcome. So for those of you joining for the first time, Shawnake, I haven't seen you before, so I'm practitioner Sandra Cooper, and it's good to have you. Carol, Charlton, and of course, Vance holding us in our technical space.
I'm so sorry to be late.
Oh, I'm glad to have you, Carol. Yeah. Okay. So let me just close this. So this evening, we're going to talk about self-love. And I want to ask you, I want to start with a question. When was the last time that you looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I love you, to the reflection staring back at you, and truly mean it?
Yesterday.
Steve, okay, got you. I hope you are naked.
No, just the top part. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's fine. I won't ask you for any more details.
Yes, I go see TMI.
I mean, what a way to start the session. But for some of us, it might have been a while since we have been able to really, utter those words to ourselves. Some of us find it hard to tell other people, but it's even worse to say to yourself. So this evening, I'm going to talk about self-love and the idea that I am my one true love. Now, self-love is a soil from which all other forms of love grow. A couple of weeks ago, Reverend Michael spoke about all the different kinds of love, filial love, romantic love, agape, and so on. Self-love is that inner light that allows us to radiate kindness, compassion, and generosity outwards. It is a foundation of healing, creativity, and resilience. Now, at the heart of our Science of Mind teachings is the understanding that we are all spiritual beings, expressions of the divine love of God. Self-love, then, is a recognition that as expressions of God's love, we are worthy, beautiful, and whole in every way. To truly walk the spiritual path or fly on the wings of love, we must first learn to love ourselves unconditionally, unapologetically, and wholeheartedly. Yet, we live in a world that teaches us to look for love out there, from a partner, from friends, from validation, from the position that we have, etc., from social media likes. But the truth is that the longest relationship that we will ever have is a relationship that we have with the self, okay? If that relationship is fractured, every other connection you try to build will carry that fracture. I mean, that is such a almost scary thought, that if I am fractured, I'm going to take that fracture into any relationship that I have. But if that sense of self is whole, if it is rooted in love, then you become unshakable. So I want you to just close your eyes for a minute and just take a deep breath and exhale. And affirm, I am my one true love. I am my one true love. And when you do that, and the more often you can do that, you honor the divine within, recognizing that your worth is inherent, not something to be earned, bargained for, or bestowed by anyone else. There is no need for external validation, and it becomes easy to let go of comparison and self-judgment. Now, how do we get to experiencing unconditional self-love? I mean, so many of us have been in the space of not good enoughness. Like the first thing I think that we need to consider is to silence the inner critic. And that inner critic will say that we're not enough. We're not good enough. It will say, boy, you mess up, boy, you're such an idiot. You don't deserve this. Now, here's a truth that will set you free. That voice is not you. It is a recording. It's a mix of old stories, cultural messages, and the wounds of past experience. So here's one thing you can do. When the voice rises, you need to name it, but don't claim it. Recognize that it is an old beat-up recording and declare its opposite. You can say something like, I am worthy and deserving of all the good that I can imagine for myself. And once you separate your true self from the critic, you reclaim your power. The second thing that you can do is to create boundaries that protect your peace. Because all of us we want to have a sense of peace and balance and ease as we navigate this life, as we experience lifing. So self-love isn't just about saying an affirmation here and an affirmation there. It's also about protection. You want to protect yourself from the bombardment of person, place, and thing. Love sets boundaries. If you constantly say yes when your soul is screaming no, you're betraying yourself. And this kind of betrayal of self chips away at love. Consider some of the things you say yes to. Ask yourself, does this honor me? Does this deplete me or does it nourish me? If what you say yes to drains your peace, your answer can be a graceful but firm no. And we need to be able to step up and say no to our family members, or spouses, or the people in our workspace. You know, of course, we're going to do it respectfully and gracefully and diplomatically, but we need to learn how to say no. Okay? So every no that honors your truth makes room for the yes that stokes a flame of love at the depths of your very soul. The third thing is cultivating magnetic self-love. When you root yourself in love, you become magnetic. People feel it. Opportunities shift toward you. And so there's a mirror practice I'm going to share with you. So every morning, stand in front of your mirror, not half naked like Steve, although you can if you want to, and say to the reflection coming back at you, I love you. I forgive you. I believe in you. And I will never abandon you. Let me just say it one more time. I love you. I forgive you. I believe in you. And I will never abandon you. I love the forgiveness part because I think of my own life and I think of some of the things I've done or have not done. And I've experienced the consequences of those choices. And oh, I have beat upon myself. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. But I've had to go deep into that space and forgive myself. Because we do the best we know how to do at the time when we do what we do. Okay? Another self-love practice. Well, before I finish that, just to go back to the mirror, it might feel strange at first when you do that, but after a while, your nervous system will get the hang of it. And it will rewire itself to accept love, not just from others, but from yourself. All right, so another self-love practice is to write down one thing each day that you appreciate about yourself. Well, maybe the way you handled a tough situation, maybe your courage to get up and go walking. I have to do that for myself sometimes. Or your ability to be positively responsive instead of being negatively reactive. Self-love grows in daily recognition of your own beautiful greatness. And remember too, your regular spiritual practice. Remember to begin your days by affirming your worth, speaking words of love and blessing, blessing yourself. So it's saying things like, I am loved, I am whole, I am an expression of the divine. Let me just say that again. I am loved. I am whole. I am an expression of the divine. Another thing you can do is just pay attention to your thoughts, gently redirecting those thoughts that are self-critical and replacing them with compassionate, affirming truth. So it's a kind of reframing. You know, not like another friend said, change black dog for monkey. But if you keep beating up on yourself, just shift it and say something positive instead. Each evening also is another thing you can do. Write down 3 things you appreciate about yourself, qualities, accomplishments, or simple moments of self-kindness. Another thing, give yourself permission to play. I don't think I play enough. Well, I believe I'm creating when I'm working because my work is very creative. So you give yourself permission to play, to create, and to express yourself in ways that bring you joy. Friends, we need to be able to laugh and have fun. And I'm talking about the kind of rib-tickling belly laugh where water run down your eye. We need to be able to laugh, right? And the last part of this is we need to surround ourselves with people who honor and encourage our journey. It's really hard to have people around you who are negative and who are dooming and glooming, and you say something and they box it out of your mouth because there's no value that they're giving to it. We need to have people around us that honor and encourage us. When we love ourselves, friends, the world changes. Self-love makes us more compassionate because we no longer judge or criticize ourselves harshly. Self-love makes us more forgiving because we recognize our shared humanity. Self-love makes us more generous because we know we are supported by God's infinite givingness. And so what I know for a fact is that when you fall deeply in love with yourself, 3 things will happen, I guarantee. 1, the self-critic loses its power. 2, your boundaries strengthen, so you know what you will and will not do. And 3, your life expands because love expands, and it expands everything it touches. To wrap up, I just want to say that self-love is sacred. It is, to my mind, even more sacred than the love that you might have for another. It is a soil within and from which every healthy relationship, every bold dream, every act of kindness must grow. And as we fill our own cup with that, with richness of love, we have more to share with others, right? So I invite you, write yourself some love notes. If I thought of that, just write a little love note to yourself. Tell yourself how special you are, how much how pleased you are by an accomplishment, or how impressed you are with how you handled something that could have pulled the rug from under your feet, right? Write those love notes, give yourself grace, set your boundaries, and mirror back the truth of who and whose you are every single day. Because at the end of it all, you are your one true love. I have other thing that I say is that I am the one that I want. And so when you live from that love, the whole world rises to meet you, right? And that is the God honest truth. And so it is. Namaste. Oh,
Thank you, Sandy.
thanks. Is that Dawn?
No, this is Carol.
Oh, okay. I'm seeing the pictures of who is there just now. Yes, so as we breathe together, I want to know what kind of inspiration has come to you. So you don't have to have any kind of perfect answer, just whatever comes up for you in the moment. And you can open your mic and share or write it in the chat. So I want to ask you, what is one thing you already do that's an act of self-love, big or small? What is one thing that you already do that's an act of self-love? Carol, I'm hearing you. Tell me.
You heard me?
Yes, I did. You unmiked, unmuted rather.
Yeah. When did I do that?
Don't know, but you are speaking now. So what is one thing you already do that's an act of self-love?
Oh dear. I do that mirror thing sometimes, but not as often as I should. One where I stand in front of the mirror and greet myself and tell it myself how good I am, how nice I am.
Yeah.
But I don't do it. I don't think I do it often enough,
Yes.
Okay.
So my next question is, when you do that, how does it make you feel?
That must make you feel nice.
Of course, absolutely. So, all right, thanks for that, Miss Carol. Who else? What is one thing that you already do that's an act of self-love? Could be a little thing, it doesn't matter.
Okay, I have my hand up.
Yes, Carol, I didn't see, but go ahead.
Yes, well, I also do the mirror thing quite often. However, I just want to recount a little incident that took place over the weekend that
Mhm.
is so in sync with what you're saying right now. Um, Lilith and I went to the Bob Marley, like, not Bob Marley, Marcus Garvey lecture downtown. It was Marcus Garvey's birthday.
Mhm.
And, you know, a lot of people were there and stuff. And as we were exiting the building, at least 3 times, I mean, you know how it is when I'm out in public, the first thing people want to know is let me related to Doreen, you know, or you look familiar or something, right? And I noticed that at least 3 times between me exiting the room and going outside, somebody said, "Oh, your face is familiar." And my first response was, "Oh, you probably don't recognize me. You're thinking of my sister." And when I got outside and we were walking to the car, I said, you know, I really need to stop saying that. Because what that is saying is that I don't think I am worthy of recognition. Why shouldn't they recognize me?
There you
Right?
go.
You know, so that was a light bulb moment. And I decided that, you know, I'm not going to dumb myself down and, you know, say, oh, you know, you recognize the rain, you don't
Yeah.
recognize.
Yes.
What kind of foolishness is that? I've done things that are worthy of recognition too.
There you
I'm
go.
here, you know.
So the next time you stick out your hand and say, "Hi, I'm Carol Campbell."
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's the end of that.
The end of that story, you know.
Awesome. Great
You
story.
know,
Thank you for that, Carol.
it was pointed out, you know, well, why do you feel that they wouldn't recognize you? Maybe they do recognize you. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. So I have another question for anyone who wants to answer. I mean,
I had one.
sorry, Dawn. Yes, go ahead.
My own is just to advise. Every month I treat myself to a massage, and it
Mhm.
leaves me feeling wonderful, and I
Mhm.
continue to do so.
That's a really fabulous act of self-love, you know.
Yes,
No,
yeah, I think so.
as you say that, you know, there is a salon I've been going to for 35 years. Someone gave me a what do you call it now, gift certificate for my 35th birthday. So now you all know how old I be. And I've been going there out of habit because I like the girls who do my nails and the one who do my she does my brows and so on. But more and more over the last couple of years, the peripheral service has gotten worse and worse. And I have not been happy with how I've been feeling treated, not by the girls themselves, but just by the customer service in the space. And this morning I needed to get a service done, and I decided to go somewhere else. And I went to that somewhere else. And first of all, I've been there before and I've always been impressed by the ambience. And I said, but why don't I come here all the time? And the inner critic said immediately, because they're more expensive. And then I had to, you know, which is the next question I have for you. What do you do to silence the critic? You know, that would make me not go there because the perception is it's too expensive. And so you know, another way to say that is you can't afford it. You don't deserve it. And I have to say, no, I definitely deserve it. And I declare that I can afford it. So think about this, guys. Which tool can you use moving forward? Silencing the critic, setting boundaries, or the mirror practice? Which are these three do you feel that is most important for you right now? Setting boundaries, silencing the critic, or the mirror practice? You can write it in the chat. I'm looking the thing. It's so important. Thanks, Auntie Lil. Right. So remember, you know, which of the three are you able to sort of embrace? Silencing the critic, very much so. Because boy, that voice in our head can be so powerful. Awesome. Anybody else? Thanks, Jen. Silencing the critic, the mirror image, and setting boundaries. So we might have to tell our loved ones, no, I'm not comfortable with that anymore. You know how many times I kind of get roped in? Carol, also silencing the critic. That's a big one, you know, because that voice in our head strong. But think about it and you can choose which of these. Shauna K says, I'm silencing the critic and using the mirror practice to affirm my good. Awesome. Thank you, Shauna K. Steve also is silencing the critic. Boy, we should have a silence critic party. And just say,
I want to qualify.
Yes, dear.
That. I know you didn't ask, but my critic is not so much unworthy, but is why didn't you? You know, so my critic is kind of encouraging, but the why you never, you know, that kind of voice. I don't know if maybe that has a different name.
It's still the critical parent, Steve. If you did study harder, you'd have gotten an A. If you did go down if you did come home and I tell you to come home, you know, you wouldn't have gotten in trouble.
Gotcha.
You know, and I mean, that critic, that parent means our good, you know. Our parents want the best for us, but that's the only way they knew how to do so. So you come home and you only get a B. So, I mean, if you did study harder, you'd get an A rather than celebrating the B. Carol says, well, I see the three are interrelated. The mirror work will add to the ability to silence the critic. Absolutely. And Carol Charlton says, sometimes it's saying, you fraud. Oh, God, yes, Carol, shh, you fraud. You know, I'm feeling this now, particularly as a newly published author. You write book, are you crazy? I mean, you're not. I have to really say, shut the front door. Afraid. Yes, Carol, I totally get you.
That is where children and grandchildren come in, certainly for me, because I can tell you, they help shut that voice up. You know, that fraud voice, you know, who me type of thing. So when the yes grandpa comes back at you, you have no choice but to respect that.
Awesome. All right, let me see. I think I might have one more question for you. What's one sacred no you'd like to practice this week? What is one sacred no you'd like to practice this week?
Stop sending me the political the political clips them every single day. I have some dear brethren who bombard me with these things. Just stop.
Well, you can't stop them coming into your feed unless you block them or something like that. But you can delete them as them come and say next.
Well, I do that.
Okay. Okay. Yes, and maybe the last thing before we go into our prayer requests, think about if you, as you leave here tonight, when we finish our session tonight, and if you were to sort of make one loving promise to yourself, what would that promise be? Lily says the time is right now, not later. And Vance is saying no to procrastination.
Oh, hey Vance, come on, just leave the place alone. But that I am, the very first thing, that I am my one true love. You can cut me off anytime, please, because this is one that I feel really strongly about, that I am, and what we put after that, I am. I listen with interest for the past couple of weeks when we have talked, we have been speaking about all these different types of love. For myself, there really is only that divine love, that absolute love. So all these other things have other names, not love. So that I am is both the I am that I am,
Mhm.
you know, and I am. So I particularly love that one.
Yeah. I've really, over the years, I've come to accept that and appreciate that all of the different types of love that they say exists. I don't buy into that anymore. I believe that we express the love differently. So if you have an intimate romantic partner, you're not going to behave the same way as you do with your son or your daughter or a good friend. It's just expressing of the love that's different, but the love itself is fundamental.
Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. Love is simply, it
Love.
simply is.
Yeah.
Simply is.
I like fundamental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really, really, this thing of love and loving, I mean, I think that is something some of us declare that we crave after. But there's no need to crave after it because it is not outside of ourselves. If we sit down and spend enough time with ourselves, what makes us not want to love ourselves is a critic. The things we are saying that makes us feel that we are not good enough. But if you silence that critic and decide to declare who you are, the beauty and awesomeness, I would like to send you all to the quote from Marianne Williamson when she talks about the deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, but the deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. I mean, when you say, who am I to be gorgeous, wonderful, talented, etc. After all, who am I not to be, and so on. We're a child of God, made in the image and likeness of God. How can we be anything other than great and wonderful and perfect, whole and complete? At least that's how I feel. So John used to give homework after he spoke on a Sunday, and I'm sending you off now with the idea of embracing that sense of I am loving and lovable. Hug up yourself, rub up yourself. I mean, going like Dawn say you go for a massage once a month. That's fine, but you need to say, you are so special and wonderful and sweet and gorgeous. And it's not an egotistic thing either. It's what you do in the privacy of your own space to just declare your love for you because it's God loving you through you, as you, and it will make us a better person. I guarantee. Absolutely guarantee. Okay, so I'd love to see how do I support you in prayer this afternoon? I'm not seeing any just yet. What are we seeing? Is there anything coming up on YouTube, Vance?
Nothing on YouTube yet.
Okay. All right. So those of you who are here with me, okay, safe travel, Dawn. Who else? Who else? Okay. So I will do that prayer for safe travel, and then as the Spirit moves you, you can just write in the chat what you'd like us to. Hug him up, love him up, kiss him up, Shauna Kay, and that will heal him up. Okay, but as health, what is his name? What is his name? Nathaniel. Baby Nathaniel. What health? And I saw something else. Carol, this is so well said, a dose of spiritual drain.
Silence the critic.
Healing, that is or flow versus flow. Flow of resources. Okay. And health for Carol. So for baby Nathaniel and for Carol, we have health. Okay, so let's start with Dawn for safe travel. Oh, So we know that there is God and only God, that one divine presence and power that is behind every activity, expresses as every activity, and is now imbued in every arrangement that Dawn has as she is preparing for her travel to New York in due course, in due time. And so I know that every aspect of her preparation is unfolding perfectly, easily, and effortlessly. I know that all her plans for while she's away are unfolding perfectly. I know that her travel itself is safe and easy, and her time in New York is fun and joy-filled, and it allows her to be with the persons that she loves, her family, her friends, and that she has an absolutely wonderful time. So the whole cycle of traveling and enjoying the time there and coming back is all God expressing that wonderful whirlwind of love and joy and happiness. And so for Dawn, I know that this is a joy-filled and amazing experience. So every aspect of her travel is blessed. And not knowing that this is the truth, I release these words now to that law that absolutely makes it her reality. This is the truth for Dawn, and I give thanks that this is so now, and so it is.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you.
My pleasure. And now for Nathaniel and for Carol, this is an affirmative prayer of health. We know that God is health, that health surrounds us, it infills us, it expresses as every single cell and fiber of our being. That health is now manifest as this beautiful little baby, Nathaniel. And it's also expressing as Dawn, and for and for Carol. And I know that for any of us who embraces the idea of perfect health, that the divine presence is now working its way in through and as every system, every function, every organ of our physical bodies. I know for little Nathaniel that there is a clearing of every part of his body. His head and chest and lungs are just absolutely clear as air flows in and out easily and effortlessly. And I see him laughing and giggling and enjoying the experience of his world in the most wonderful and perfect way. I know that he's loved and cared for, and he returns that love with his beautiful smile and his sparkling eyes, and that in just that cycle of love exchange, I just see his healing unfolding perfectly. And for Carol, I just know that this healing is also expressing in through and as her. And so every aspect of her physical body is now functioning at the optimum. Her movement, the functioning of her organs and systems, everything is just God expressing and God working its perfect way in through and as her. And so I declare perfect health now for Nathaniel and for Carol and for any one of us who is receptive to these words. And in this space, I release these words with deep, deep gratitude, knowing that they are fulfilled perfectly, joyfully, and awesomely. I give thanks that this is truly so now, and so it is. Mm-hmm. And now we have this ease in the flow. Oh, we know that there is an abundance in this universe that has no beginning and no end. It is infinite. It is God expressing. It is a source of all things. It is creation itself. And it expresses in and through and as Carol now. And any of us who is open and receptive to these words of truth around the flow of our financial good. And so for Carol, I know that this flow is taking place for her, through her, and as her. I know that whatever that she might be thinking or feeling or holding on to that might be blocking her flow is now cleared without stress, without strain. It just disappears because nothing can stand up or against the flow of God, the flow of God's good. And so for Carol now, I'm declaring that she is drawing to her avalanches of money substance. I see her bills paid. I see her needs being met. And she's supplied from the infinite givingness of spirit that is flowing to her, through her, as her, right here and right now. And so perfect abundance and wealth and opportunity for her to express at her highest, her best, to use her talents to serve others and to ultimately reward or be rewarded for her gifts and talents in the most perfect and awesome way. So I know this for Carol, and it is with deep gratitude that I release these words to the Lord that says yes, and that all is now well for her in her affairs, in her finances. I know this as a truth, and with love and joy and deep thanksgiving, I let it be so now. And so it is.
And so it is. I say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
And nothing else on YouTube, Van Stevie?
No, nothing on YouTube.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back to the slides and find them. And we just have a few short and brief announcements. We still continue to have our grief therapist, Lorraine Jones Lawrence, every Tuesday evening at 6 to 7:30. And this is live and direct at the temple in the book room. So you might want to check that out one Tuesday afternoon at 6 o'clock at the temple. And this doesn't mean that you yourself have lost someone, although yes, you can visit if you have. But you know, I know one of my challenges, I often don't know what to say. So I might just show up at the person's home and just sit there and just catch their eyes and smile and just sit there. And that might be okay in that space. So, you know, it's probably a good opportunity to just be able to support others and to know how to do this. That's Tuesdays, 7:30, 6 to 7:30. And next week, Friday, that's August 29th, we send our lovely and wonderful Shirley Pond on her journey into eternity. She has already taken off, and so we just bless her as she continues on that journey. And this will be at the Temple of Light on Friday at 10:30. So do make it try and make it to come and support her family. And in the meantime, keep them in your prayers. Keep, that sense of love and support for Shirley's family. And one thing to make a note of, put in your calendars, on Saturday, September 13th, we will be having a special day of outreach when the Temple of Light will be serving our community. The details haven't been sorted out yet. So we invite you to keep an eye out for those details in the coming weeks as we celebrate World Day of Service. Wow, and on Sunday, Douglas Arrange shared the progress that has been made with the music, that, you know, learning of the guitar and the drums on a Sunday afternoon at 2. And it's not too late if any of you, or you know of anyone who wants to learn to play the drums or to play the guitar, to join at the temple on Sundays. Where am I getting Tuesdays from? On Sundays at 2 p.m. So you might be just curious and you want to learn how to play. Well, Tuesday, Sundays at 2 p.m. Okay. And next Tuesday, I knew I had a chance to say Tuesday. Tuesday must be my lucky day, you know. Well, my sister would know what Tuesdays mean and tell me to go and buy cash pot. It's another conversation. But next Tuesday, that's the 26th of August, we will have our spiritual mind healing service with practitioner Jennifer Livingston. And by Sunday, we will have the topic, so you'll be able to join us and you can share with Jennifer in that experience next week, Tuesday. And friends, if you feel moved to support our ministry, please feel free to donate at donate.templeoflightcsl.org. And we thank you for your generosity and for helping us to be a beacon of light for the world. And some of you might be at this point.
Before you do that, Carol is asking for something, and I have one sentence. Carol, go ahead. Carol.
Oh, I just put something in the chat just to remind people.
I was going to come to it after this.
Oh, okay.
And can I just interject here, please, Sandy?
Yes, dear.
That Poetry, Prose, and Rhythms, number 8, is back in the garden. Make it a date. September 28th.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow. I will be in Montego Bay. Anyway, we'll see. Not confirmed yet, but yeah, thank you for that. You should send me the details so I could create a slide. I need to put it up in Temple for this.
Yes, I think Reverend, and we had a meeting today. So she probably give it. If not, I can give it.
Sure. Okie dokie.
And
all right.
classes, not the Thursday forum meets at 7 o'clock every Thursday, same way. This week we're looking at the mental equivalent from Emmett Fox.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for that, Steve. So again, you must send me the details so I can put them up. All right, so as we prepare to give, let us just put our hands on our hearts and say together, lovingly I give, joyfully I receive, be thou fruitful, increase and multiply, bless, prosper and enrich everyone whom you touch, and replenish all of my financial affairs. Thank you, Father, and so it is. Carol, I haven't forgotten you. Carol Campbell?
Yes?
You had wanted to share something?
Oh, I just put it in the
okay.
About Sunday.
Okay. Okay, so Carol is going to be the speaker this Sunday for Practitioner Sunday. And her topic is, wow, it sounds interesting, the turbulence of love. You sure you don't want it as a workshop?
Well, we might do that after.
People might want to have a lot, as Bob Marley would say, so much things to say.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, man, look forward to that, definitely. All right, so do join Carol this Sunday at 9 o'clock at the Temple of Light as we will celebrate another Practitioner Sunday. And she will be the speaker delivering the messages. We look forward to having all of you here, and you tell your friends and come. Okay, so I think we go back to sharing. Are you seeing my slide?
Not yet.
Okay, so I need to go back. Hold on a second. Here we go. Seeing it now, don't? So we're doing
Yes.
the of our center. Temple of Light, Center for Spiritual Living, is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community from which the Christ, peace, love, and joy emanate to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes into contact with it in any way. The light of the Christ illumines us, our center, and our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God expands our consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and glory forever. And so it is. And the prayer of Jamaica, prayer for Jamaica. The radiant light of God's love is now flowing through us and from us to everything and everyone it touches. The eternal light of God's love now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island Jamaica. The glowing intensity of the light of God's love now interpenetrates and awakens within the hearts and minds of our countrymen and women the truths of life which set free. The light of God's love is growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness, and our oneness under God are now established, and so it is. So we close another Tuesday evening spiritual mind healing service. So I thank you all for being here in the space of love. Your presence, your energy, and your openness have added richly to this experience. So just join me in our closing affirmative prayer. There is just one life, one love, one infinite presence. This presence is the very heartbeat of the universe. It's a breath that flows within each and every one of us. It is a radiant source from which all love flows. I know that this love lives in me, as me, and through me, as it does in each and every one of us. It is unshakable. It is unconditional, and it is eternal. I know that I'm never separated from it. For the I am that I am is love expressing. I now claim the truth of my being, that I am whole, worthy, and complete. The critic is silenced. The walls of fear dissolve into nothingness. And I stand rooted in the boundless love of spirit within me. I see this love overflowing in every area of my life. Relationships, work, health, joy, everything is touched, transformed, and uplifted by that vibration of divine love within myself. And so I accept this truth. And as we go to our respective activities this evening, I know that this truth manifests in every aspect of our lives and affairs. And so it is with gratitude, knowing that it is already so, that I release it to the law and trust fully that it is so. And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you all.
So it is. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Love you. Bless you.
Thank you, Sandy.
Continue
Thank
to
you. Good night, everyone.